Struggling to pass your DMV permit test on the first try? Congratulations, you have found the right channel. We are dedicated to providing you with everything you need to prepare confidently for your test. Today, we will go through 46 essential mock test questions for California, with the last 10 questions absolutely crucial for your success. So stick around until the end. Let's dive in and get started. Question 1. This blue circular sign with a white arrow indicates: Option A, one-way street. B, yield to pedestrians. C, turn left ahead. Answer is C, turn left ahead. This is a mandatory instruction sign. It informs drivers that they are required to turn left at the location ahead. Question 2. If you are out of state and cannot renew your driver's license, you may request an extension of your driver's license for up to: Option A, 90 days. B, 6 months. C, 1 year. Answer is C, 1 year. If you are out of state and cannot renew, you may request a 1-year extension of your driver's license. Keep in mind that limited-term driver's licenses are not eligible for this extension. Question 3. When turning left from a one-way street onto a one-way street, where should you start your turn? Option A, from the center lane. B, from the far left lane. C, from the far right lane. Answer is B, from the far left lane. When turning left from a one-way street onto another one-way street, you must start the turn from the far left lane. Keep in mind that bicyclists can also legally use this left turn lane for their left turns. Question 4. If a traffic signal is green but traffic is blocking the intersection, what should you do? Option A, partially enter the intersection as allowed by traffic. B, drive around the traffic on the shoulder to help ease the congestion. C, wait and do not enter the intersection until your vehicle can get completely across. Answer is C, wait and do not enter the intersection until your vehicle can get completely across. You must never enter an intersection if you cannot get completely across before the traffic signal light turns red. Only proceed if you have enough space so you do not block the intersection or create a danger to others. Question 5. A bicyclist traveling slower than traffic may legally move away from the right edge of the road when: Option A, they are preparing to make a right turn at the next intersection. B, the speed limit on the road is greater than 35 miles per hour. C, a lane is too narrow for a bicycle and a vehicle to safely travel side by side. Answer is C, a lane is too narrow for a bicycle and a vehicle to safely travel side by side. Bicyclists traveling slower than the flow of traffic must ride as close as possible to the right curb, unless a lane is too narrow for a bicycle and a vehicle to safely travel side by side in the lane. Hey, if you find this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel and hit bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Your support helps us bring you more content to ace your DMV permit test. Now let's get back to the video. Question 6. When is an intersection considered to be a blind intersection? Option A, if it has no stop signs at any corner. B, if it is obscured by heavy fog or smoke. C, if it only has yield signs instead of stop signs. Answer is A, if it has no stop signs at any corner. An intersection is considered blind if it has no stop signs at any corner and your view is blocked. If you encounter a blind intersection, move slowly forward until you can see clearly. Question 7. Upon renewing a driver's license, which drivers may be required to take a behind-the-wheel drive test? Option A. Drivers who are over the age of 50. B. Drivers renewing their license for the third consecutive time. C. Drivers with a vision or medical condition. Answer is C. Drivers with a vision or medical condition. Upon renewing your driver's license, you may be required to take a behind-the-wheel test if you have a vision or medical condition. Question 8. If you need to use your windshield wipers due to fog, rain, or snow, what must you do? Option A. Turn on your low-beam headlights. B. Drive using only your parking lights. C. Turn on your emergency flashers. Answer is A. Turn on your low-beam headlights. In adverse weather conditions such as fog, rain, or snow, if you need to use your windshield wipers, you must also turn on your low-beam headlights. Remember that it is illegal to drive using only your parking lights. Question 9. What do double solid white lines indicate? Option A. A lane barrier between a regular use and a preferential use lane, such as a carpool HOV lane. B. The center of a two-way street with slow-moving traffic. C. An upcoming crosswalk or pedestrian crossing. Answer is A. A lane barrier between a regular use and a preferential use lane, such as a carpool HOV lane. Double solid white lines indicate a lane barrier between a regular use and a preferential use lane, such as a carpool or high-occupancy vehicle HOV lane. You may also see double solid white lines in or near freeway on-ramps and off-ramps. Question 10. How is the road surface in an HOV lane marked? Option A. With a diamond symbol and the words carpool lane. B. With a solid yellow triangle and the words fast lane. C. With alternating green and white painted lines. Answer is A. With a diamond symbol and the words carpool lane. The road surface in a high-occupancy vehicle HOV lane is marked with a diamond symbol and the words carpool lane. You must not cross over double solid lines to enter or exit an HOV lane. Always use the designated entrances and exits. Question 11. What type of bike marking uses signs and shared road markings to designate a preferred route for bicyclists on streets shared with vehicle traffic? Option A. Buffered bike lane. B. Bike route. C. Separated bikeway. Answer is B. Bike route. A bike route uses bike route signs and shared road markings to designate a preferred route for bicyclists on streets that are shared with vehicle traffic. Question 12. When making a right turn from a dedicated right turn lane, what must you always do regarding pedestrians? Option A. Sound your horn so they know you are not stopping. B. Proceed quickly before they enter the crosswalk. C. Always yield to pedestrians in a crosswalk when turning. Answer is C. Always yield to pedestrians in a crosswalk when turning. Even though a dedicated right turn lane allows you to safely make a turn without stopping for the main traffic light, you must always yield to pedestrians in a crosswalk when turning. Question 13. True or false? You may only ever turn from or end in a single specific lane regardless of intersection markings. Option A. True, turning lanes are universally standardized. B. False, there may be signs or arrows that indicate you can turn from or end in more than one lane. C. True, unless you are driving a commercial vehicle. Answer is B. False, there may be signs or arrows that indicate you can turn from or end in more than one lane. While standard turns typically restrict you to a specific lane, there are frequently signs or painted arrows on the road that indicate you can legally turn from or end in more than one lane. Question 14. When preparing to enter a highway, what must you ensure regarding your position on the on-ramp? Option A. Be in the proper lane. B. Drive on the right shoulder until you reach highway speed. C. Straddle the lane markings to block passing vehicles. Answer is A. Be in the proper lane. You must wait for an oncoming vehicle with its right turn signal on to actually start its turn before you turn left. The other driver may have left the signal on by mistake or may plan to turn into a driveway just beyond you. Question 15. When looking for a parallel parking space, the space should be at least: Option A. 2 feet longer than your vehicle. B. 3 feet longer than your vehicle. C. 5 feet longer than your vehicle. Answer is B. 3 feet longer than your vehicle. When looking for a parallel parking space, you should find a space that is at least 3 feet longer than your vehicle. Once you find a suitable space, turn on your signal to show other drivers that you plan on parking. Question 16. When you are ready to pull away from the curb after completing a straight line backing maneuver, what must you do? Option A. Only observe traffic in your rearview mirror before pulling out. B. Repeat the traffic check and signal steps, steps 1 and 2. C. Turn on your emergency flashers and pull out slowly. Answer is B. Repeat the traffic check and signal steps, steps 1 and 2. When you are ready to pull away from the curb after completing a straight line backing maneuver, you must repeat the traffic check and signal steps. Observe traffic, check your blind spots, and activate your turn signal before pulling out. Question 17. When are you legally permitted to park in a space designated for parking or fueling zero-emission vehicles? Option A. When the parking lot is completely full. B. Only when you are driving a zero-emission vehicle. C. If you are parking for less than 15 minutes. Answer is B. Only when you are driving a zero-emission vehicle. You are legally permitted to park in a space designated for parking or fueling zero-emission vehicles only when you are actually driving a zero-emission vehicle. Question 18. What must passengers avoid doing during a law enforcement traffic stop? Option A. Speaking to the driver of the vehicle. B. Interfering with the officer's duties or actions. C. Keeping their seatbelts fastened. Answer is B. Interfering with the officer's duties or actions. During a law enforcement traffic stop, passengers must remain calm and absolutely avoid interfering with the officer's duties or actions while they conduct the stop. Question 19. Who has the right to file a complaint against any law enforcement agency? Option A. Only licensed drivers over the age of 21. B. All members of the public. C. Only individuals who have received a traffic citation. Answer is B. All members of the public. All members of the public have the fundamental right to file a complaint against any law enforcement agency if they believe an officer acted improperly. Question 20. When turning on a yellow arrow, the handbook warns that the next signal could be Option A, a flashing red or flashing yellow light. B, a green or red traffic signal light or a red arrow. C, only a solid green traffic signal light. Answer is B. A green or red traffic signal light or a red arrow. When completing a turn on a yellow arrow, pay close attention to the next signal, as it could be a green or red traffic signal light or a red arrow. Question 21. If you accidentally enter a roadway against traffic and see "Do not enter" and "Wrong way" signs, what should you do? Option A, when it is safe, back out or turn around. B, continue driving until you can pull into a driveway or exit ramp. C, move to the far left lane and stop with your hazard lights on. Answer is A. When it is safe, back out or turn around. If you mistakenly enter a roadway against the flow of traffic and see a "Wrong way" sign, you must stop as soon as possible and, when it is safe, back out or turn your vehicle around to avoid a head-on collision. Question 22. Before entering an intersection, where should you look to check for vehicles, bicyclists, and pedestrians? Option A, only straight ahead. B, left, right, and ahead. C, only to your left side. Answer is B. Left, right, and ahead. Before entering any intersection, you must look left, right, and ahead to check for approaching vehicles, bicyclists, and pedestrians. Always be prepared to slow down and stop if necessary. Question 23. Which of the following is true regarding the forward view of large vehicle and truck drivers? Option A, they have a better view in front of them and bigger mirrors. B, they have poor forward visibility due to the size of their engine hood. C, they rely entirely on cameras to see directly in front of them. Answer is A. They have a better view in front of them and bigger mirrors. Large vehicle and truck drivers have a better view in front of them and bigger mirrors. But they also have large blind spots, also called no zones, where your vehicle can completely disappear from their view. Question 24. What does this triangular warning sign represent? Option A, slippery road. B, wild animals. C, pedestrian walkway. Answer is B. Wild animals. This sign warns drivers of the possibility of large wild animals, such as deer, crossing the roadway. Use caution and stay alert. Question 25. What should you do when approaching a stationary emergency vehicle with flashing emergency signal lights, hazard lights? Option A, move over and slow down. B, stop completely and wait for a signal from an officer to proceed. C, maintain your speed but turn on your own hazard lights. Answer is A. Move over and slow down. When approaching a stationary emergency vehicle or tow truck with flashing emergency signal lights or hazard lights, you must move over and slow down to give them safe clearance. Hey, if you find this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Your support helps us bring you more content to ace your DMV permit test. Now let's get back to the video. Question 26. What action must you take to safely share the road with scooters, golf carts, and other slow-moving motorized vehicles? Option A. Flash your high beams to warn them of your approach. B. Follow closely behind them until they pull over. C. Adjust your speed to share the road with these vehicles. Answer is C. Adjust your speed to share the road with these vehicles. Other types of slow-moving motorized vehicles that may operate on public roads include scooters, neighborhood electric vehicles, and golf carts. You must adjust your speed to share the road safely with these vehicles. Question 27. A bicyclist traveling slower than the flow of traffic is not required to ride as close to the right edge of the road if they are. Option A. Riding on a multi-lane highway. B. Preparing to make a left turn. C. Within 500 feet of a railroad crossing. Answer is B. Preparing to make a left turn. Bicyclists traveling slower than the flow of traffic must ride as close as possible to the right curb or edge of the road, unless they are preparing to make a left turn. Question 28. What should you be prepared to do when you see cones, drums, or other barriers guiding you through a work zone? Option A. Ignore them if you do not see any active construction workers. B. Prepare to slow down or stop for highway equipment. C. Drive as close to the barriers as possible to maintain a straight line. Answer is B. Prepare to slow down or stop for highway equipment. Cones, drums, or other barriers will guide you through the work zone. When you see these barriers, you must prepare to slow down or stop for highway equipment. Question 29. What must you remember to do before crossing railroad tracks, considering many crossings have multiple tracks? Option A. Cross immediately if the primary track is clear. B. Focus your attention only on the direction traffic normally travels. C. Look in both directions and only cross when it is safe. Answer is C. Look in both directions and only cross when it is safe. Because many railroad crossings have multiple tracks, you must always stop, look in both directions, listen, and only cross when you are certain it is safe to proceed. Question 30. In addition to specific locations on the windshield and front windows, where else is it legally permitted to affix objects or signs on a vehicle? Option A. On the side windows behind the driver. B. Hanging directly from the interior rearview mirror. C. Directly in the center of the rear window. Answer is A. On the side windows behind the driver. In addition to the specific approved locations on the windshield and front windows, you may also legally affix objects or signs on the side windows behind the driver. Question 31. What will happen if a minor driver has more at-fault collisions or traffic violation convictions while already on probation? Option A. Their license will be suspended again. B. They will be permanently banned from driving until age 21. C. Their probation period will be ended early. Answer is A. Their license will be suspended again. If a minor driver has more at-fault collisions or traffic violation convictions while already on probation, their license will be suspended again. Question 32. To maintain enough space to maneuver safely and react to other drivers, you should avoid: Option A. Driving directly alongside other vehicles. B. Driving in the far right lane. C. Leaving space between your vehicle and parked vehicles. Answer is A. Driving directly alongside other vehicles. To maintain enough space to maneuver safely and react to other drivers, you should avoid driving directly alongside other vehicles. You should also keep space between your vehicle and parked vehicles and avoid staying in another driver's blind spot. Question 33. When recovering from a slippery surface skid, after you take your foot off the accelerator and steer in the direction of the skid, what else should you attempt to do? Option A. Apply the emergency parking brake. B. Shift your vehicle into neutral. C. Try to get a wheel on dry pavement. Answer is C. Try to get a wheel on dry pavement. When recovering from a slippery surface skid, you must first slowly remove your foot from the accelerator, avoid braking, and steer in the direction of the skid. Finally, you should try to get at least one wheel on dry pavement to regain traction. Question 34. When driving in high winds, why should you maintain a firm hand position on the steering wheel? Option A. So you can quickly honk your horn at other drivers to warn them of debris. B. To keep the airbags from deploying accidentally during a wind impact. C. Because strong wind gusts are unpredictable and you can lose control of the vehicle. Answer is C. Because strong wind gusts are unpredictable and you can lose control of the vehicle. When driving in high winds, you must maintain a firm hand position on the steering wheel. Strong wind gusts are unpredictable, and if you are not holding the wheel properly when a gust hits, you can easily lose control of the vehicle. Question 35. According to the California Driver's Handbook, why is it important to know what is behind you? Option A. It can help you avoid rear-end collisions. B. It allows you to completely eliminate all of your vehicle's blind spots. C. It is legally required every 10 seconds while driving on the highway. Answer is A. It can help you avoid rear-end collisions. Knowing what is behind you is a critical part of defensive driving. Frequently checking traffic behind you can help you adjust your speed or position in time to avoid rear-end collisions. Question 36. What is a potential penalty from the court if you are under 21 and caught with alcohol in your vehicle? Option A. Suspend your driver's license for 1 year. B. Revoke your driving privilege permanently. C. Suspend your driver's license for 30 days. Answer is A. Suspend your driver's license for 1 year. If you are under 21 and caught with alcohol in your vehicle, the court may fine you and suspend your driver's license for 1 year. Question 37. If a preliminary alcohol screening (PAS) shows an under 21 driver has a BAC of 0.05% or higher, what may the officer require next? Option A. Let you off with a strict warning if it is your first offense. B. Require you to take a breath or blood test. C. Ask you to leave your vehicle and walk home. Answer is B. Require you to take a breath or blood test. If a preliminary alcohol screening (PAS) shows an under 21 driver has a BAC of 0.05% or higher, the officer may require them to take a subsequent breath or blood test. Question 38. What will happen if you fail to file a report of traffic accident occurring in California SR1 with the DMV after a qualifying collision? Option A, you will be fined $1,000. B, your driving privilege will be suspended. C, law enforcement will file the report on your behalf. Answer is B. Your driving privilege will be suspended. It is strictly your responsibility to file a report of traffic accident occurring in California. Your driving privilege will be suspended if you fail to file this report, and law enforcement will not make a report for you. Question 39. If a subsequent blood or breath test confirms an under 21 driver has a BAC of 0.05% or higher, what is the consequence? Option A, you will be required to install an ignition interlock device (IID) within 24 hours. B, you will only be issued a traffic citation and allowed to drive away. C, you may be arrested for a DUI and your driving privilege may be suspended. Answer is C. You may be arrested for a DUI and your driving privilege may be suspended. If a subsequent blood or breath test confirms an under 21 driver has a BAC of 0.05% or higher, the driver may be arrested for a DUI and their driving privilege may be suspended. Question 40. A rectangular blue sign with a red diagonal line over a motorway symbol means: Option A, end of motorway regulations. B, no entry beyond this point. C, road ends. Answer is A, end of motorway regulations. This sign indicates that you are 1 mile away from the point where special motorway rules and restrictions no longer apply. Question 41. When you are preparing to make a right turn and there is a bicyclist ahead of you, what should you do? Option A, merge safely behind the bicyclist when preparing to make a turn. B, accelerate to pass the bicyclist before reaching the intersection. C, honk your horn to force the bicyclist to stop while you turn. Answer is A, merge safely behind the bicyclist when preparing to make a turn. You must remember to merge safely behind a bicyclist when preparing to make a right turn. Never cut them off or turn directly in front of them. Question 42. When a vehicle turns, why do large vehicles and truck drivers often need to swing wide to complete a turn? Option A, because their turn signals do not activate until they swing wide. B, because the front wheels follow a shorter path than the rear wheels. C, because the rear wheels follow a shorter path than the front wheels. Answer is C, because the rear wheels follow a shorter path than the front wheels. When a vehicle turns, the rear wheels follow a shorter path than the front wheels. The longer the vehicle, the greater the difference in the length of the turning path, which is why large vehicles and truck drivers must often swing wide to complete a turn. Hey, if you find this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel and hit bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Your support helps us bring you more content to ace your DMV permit test. Now let's get back to the video. Question 43. Why should you never stop your vehicle in the middle of a crosswalk? Option A, it blocks the view of the traffic signal for vehicles behind you. B, it will cause the pedestrian crossing lights to malfunction. C. It could force a blind pedestrian to walk into traffic outside of the crosswalk. Answer is C. It could force a blind pedestrian to walk into traffic outside of the crosswalk. You must never stop your vehicle in the middle of a crosswalk. Blocking the crosswalk could force a blind pedestrian to walk around your vehicle and into dangerous traffic outside the safe crossing area. Question 44. When using a roundabout, when are you required to use your turn signals? Option A. Signal when you change lanes or exit. B. Signal only when entering the roundabout. C. Keep your left turn signal on the entire time you are in the roundabout. Answer is A. Signal when you change lanes or exit. To safely navigate a roundabout and communicate your intentions, you must signal when you change lanes or exit the roundabout. Question 45. After receiving your instruction permit as a minor, when can you legally begin using it to drive? Option A. Immediately after leaving the DMV office. B. Until you start behind-the-wheel driver training with an instructor who will validate the permit. C. After passing a vision test at your high school. Answer is B. Until you start behind-the-wheel driver training with an instructor who will validate the permit. After obtaining your instruction permit as a minor, you must wait to use it until you start your behind-the-wheel driver training with a licensed instructor who will officially validate the permit. Question 46. This rectangular blue sign with a white upward arrow means: Option A. Pedestrian only. B. One-way traffic. C. Parking only zone. Answer is B. One-way traffic. This sign identifies a road where all vehicular traffic is required to travel in one direction only. For more practice and updates, click on the video you are watching on the screen. Keep building your confidence and get closer to passing your DMV permit test. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.